that we didn't fund. We said, okay, you gotta go to this new teacher evaluation system that's gonna take a lot more paperwork, more timing, whatever. But we're not gonna send any money along with it, even though the Office of Management budget, the time that was passed, said it was gonna cost about $80 million just on extra stuff. So and so we haven't solved that one yet, but yeah.
I teach in Albert Lea at Southwest. I'm a special ed teacher. And just commenting on the formula myself, seeing those dollars increasing for us, I see my classroom. I have special ed. They're lower, 2 to 3 to 4 grade levels below, and they're getting to be 10, 12 in there. And to expect them to get these increases to be what they put on us is it's not happening with one teacher and 12 kids in the room. They're reading at 3rd grade level and individual attention needs. So by changing that formula, giving us more dollars, make those class sizes smaller, as with the gen ed, because I teach also in that class at 31 with 10 special ed kids in it.
Yeah, if you had a chance to take a look at the governor's proposal, his task force changes on special ed, and kind of a new formula. Okay, I was just wondering if you might have thought of that. Okay, yeah, we're looking at that, but the new task force came out with a little different funding formula on special education.
Well, another thing is, I teach ASD too, so I'm teaching reading. I have the caseload of ASD kids, which are kids with autism. So they take up, they can have a crisis. And so, okay, kids who I'm teaching have to sit here while I'm dealing with this, and so just the number of special ed teachers, some of us have to be so concentrated on a certain level of PE or ASD or the functional skills that we don't have enough of us to deal with all the crises or the teaching of the kids. So it's hard because we have the same number of teachers, but then we have all these new, caseloads.
Is there a cross-subsidy reduction in the House's bill for special education?
We just have the number right now. We haven't put together the bill. Okay. We've got the number. They say, okay, the leadership, you can spend this much new dollars. So we haven't decided that. Okay. I know the governor has 124 million. So that's very costly, as you know. So we just haven't put that together.
Okay. Can I ask another question?
Sure. Yep. Yep. Boy.
Where are you at with the statewide health insurance for? That's going to be a major change too.
It has moved through the committees. It's not to the House floor yet. There's a lot of debate, a lot of folks talking about, from districts here, you've already got your plan at a low cost. So I don't know what's going to happen there for sure. Please, yes.
Does anybody else have any questions?
Jeff Hocker with Education Minnesota. In addition to working with Superintendent Olson and Superintendent Funk, I also work with about 12 districts in this geographic area. We couldn't have folks here today. And I want to tell you, it is so refreshing to hear this positive conversation. And I couldn't be more supportive of the all-day, everyday kindergarten. And Superintendent Olson already spoke eloquently on the need for the formula increase, so I won't be redundant, but we'll probably work offer him a job afterwards in Education Minnesota. But the two things that I wanted to mention, and again, the third thing was the teacher evaluation. I appreciate you recognizing the fact that there is going to be a great cost, and I think there is been excellent cooperation between the Department of Education, Education Minnesota, and the School Boards Association in trying to make that law work. But with the state pilot coming out now, the budget office estimated that would be about $290 million to fully fund if everyone took that state pilot. But I'm sure, given that the pilot's 90 pages, most are going to try to develop a local plan. But I have two specific questions. One is that in the governor's proposal, with all the everyday kindergarten, currently it's funded at 0.55. The governor's budget has it at 0.70, and so, and I'm not sure where the Senate is at, but the House is at fully funding it at 1.0.
Yes.
Okay. And then, secondly, in the governor's budget for early childhood education, the monies that are being placed out there are being talked about as some sort of a voucher that can be used in either public or private. And it seems like fairly dangerous water to get into spending significant monies that could go to private schools and goes against kind of what the mandate for the state is. And so with the House looking at early childhood funding, is your priorities different than the governor as far as private, public?
No, we're looking at a scholarship. And how that would work is, very much like our student grant program, or kind of child care dollars where you would go to the student. And the way it would work is the scholarship would go to any student, 180%, when they go to poverty level. And there's been a parent aware which has rated daycares. And you have to be a 4-star rating, which means you gotta do certain stuff, have certain teachers on board. And this child could get a scholarship and then could go either to a school-based plan, a daycare, a church faith-based, Head Start, wherever, as long as this was rated 4 stars. And we think the benefits of that would be to get the scholarship, daycares or schools would have to move up to this 4-star. And so it wouldn't just be the child who's got the scholarship benefiting, let's say in a daycare, but every other child would benefit because they've raised the level. So we think we can really get a lot more kind of service for the dollar, so to speak. But yeah, I know there's concerns on the public, private, and so forth, but no, that's what the governor. But that's what we're looking at. Yes.
Anybody else have any questions? In response to what you just said about getting them up, it disappoints me. I think they all should be up right now. If you're a licensed daycare, there shouldn't be anything that needs tweaking. And if you're a church-based daycare, there shouldn't be any tweaking. So that's just my opinion.
And I think what's nice about kind of this concept is, maybe we could, as a state, we're not saying that you have to get there as far as education stuff. We're going to kind of drive to this quality because the providers will want to move up just on their own to get access to the scholarships. So it's not just the state coming down and saying, boom, you got to do this.
But I like to think that the care providers want to be there.
They should, right? They're right.
And who's going to monitor this? I know now that some that are quote licensed, I wouldn't leave my head gerbil with me. I mean, really, I mean that sincerely. And so evidently the licensing and the monitoring has not worked well right now.
Yeah, this would be, you'd be moving beyond just being licensed. You'd have to have a curriculum, a criteria to be 4-star, and I can't tell you exactly what's all into that 4-star rating. I just know to get the scholarship you have to do.
I hope they don't ask people sitting in old step leather chairs to make the agenda.
State mandate on Labor Day. Can't start school till after Labor Day. You're from the north, I'm from the south. Probably have different perspectives on that. But I read a recent Minnesota School Board Association survey that 72% of school districts would like to see that mandate disappear. Now it's in the House omnibus bill. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, like one former politician once said, I voted no before I voted yes. Remember that? I have voted on both sides of that issue. Most recently, I voted to allow opening before Labor Day, and that's what's in the policy bill.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And it just came down to, and I can see both sides, but for me, it comes down to the student. And I'm going to let the school determine if they think that schedule will help close the achievement gap, increase proficiency. So that's the education finance chair. That's my position.
I just want to make another comment about our situation at the Area Learning Center. When we start a new quarter, we have, a lot of times way too many kids in a class. And so our students need a lot more attention than, you know, like the average high school kid. And it gets to be really, really hard on teachers to have that many kids in a class.